Warning, the following is a long list of warnings. If warnings offend you, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains adult themes. If you're not an adult, do not watch this show. Warning, this show contains a lot of offensive language and may contain graphic content. If you are a Karen, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may contain shabby impersonations of celebrities. If you are a celebrity, represent one, or think this is unfair, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may contain what could be seen as controversial and subversive ideas and opinions. If you can't handle differing opinions, do not watch this show. Warning, this show actively shows the consumption of tobacco, cannabis, and alcohol. If this offends you, do not watch this show. Warning, this show may discuss topics including, but not limited to, those in the realm of politics and conspiracy theories in a politically incorrect format. If these topics offend you or make you uneasy, do not watch this show. Warning, the producers of this show will do almost anything for a laugh. If comedy or extreme comedic premises offend you, please do not watch this show. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the producers, affiliates, hosts, ISPs, streaming platforms, advertisers, partners, or alike.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location inside the beautiful land of the Blackfoot Confederacy and Treaty 7 territory, Big Nate Productions presents Getting Laid with Nate.
Good times. Thanks for watching. Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody in the chat. We're going to call Tom Green right now. First number, 510-925-1565. Tweet at Tom Green Live and tell him to pick up the phone when Nate calls. Oh, see? User busy. That's what it did the other time. 1-323-822-5300. He has been streaming. Oh, it's ringing. I'm going to do this bit 200 times until we fucking get a hold of him. It's ringing. This is an LA number, too. It's ringing.
This mailbox is not currently accepting messages because voicemail has not yet been activated. Please try your call.
I got to get my email game on with this guy. Oh, I'm calling him by accident again. Whoops. No, I was calling my buddy Brian. He's going to call back now thinking there's an emergency. All right, well, that was fun. Another hilarious installment of Let's Call Tom Green. Okay, we're going to have a quick thing that a past guest, Danny Vacon, did. And it's you know, everybody's trying to save a dime here in the quarantine times. Lots of people are on budgets and stuff. So here's some handy tips to keep it cheap with Danny Vacon.
Hey friends, Danny Vacon here. Listen, I know we're all going to be a little bit poor for the next bit, trying to figure out how to maybe cut some corners to help make ends meet. And I want to show you how you can do that with the laundry. In my new series, Danny helps you keep it cheap. Alright, I'm going to chuck them in right quick here. See, now, actual laundry soap is really expensive, man. compared to Dawn, Original Sin. See, the myth they're trying to feed you is that all soap's specialized. But if they make bubbles, it's gonna clean your body, man. The best part about it is you don't have to separate your darks and your whites. It's just like dishes, man. It cleans every dish, no matter what color it is. Stuff is like pennies a teaspoon, nickels a tablespoon. I'm serious. If you got a big load, I'm thinking like, maybe like 3 squirts, like a. For real. Man, I'm telling you, it's not just laundry. This is your life. This is your sanitizer right here. This is your shampoo. This will clean out your impure thoughts. For real. Alright, it's time for the big reveal, I guess. Now, you're not going to be able to smell what I'm smelling, so you're going to have to look at my face, particularly my eyes, and try to tell if I'm being sincere. Right. How about the karate pants? Holy shit, that smells nice! That's it from me, Danny V. Reminding you to keep it clean in the quarantine. Your clothes are always darkest before the dawn. This is for you. Here to help you keep it cheap.
Danny is hilarious, and I have permission to play all of those, so that's going to be a segment for at least the next 4 more shows. I was able to sit down with my buddy Ross Anderson from Greybeard. They just put out a new album out called Oracle on the 1st of July, and it's pretty epic, so we talked about it, the process, and all that, and see you in a minute. Hey everybody, I'm here today with Ross Anderson of Calgary rad band Greybeard. How you doing, man?
Woo! Pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. You guys got a new record out. Just came out, right?
Yeah, it came out last week. It's called Oracle. Yeah, it's our first full-length album, so we're pretty excited to have it out there now. Yeah, it's 8 songs. It's a super nerdy concept album, kind of like a D&D module. It's pretty fun.
Nice, yeah. So yeah, you've put out what, 2 or 3 EPs, and then now the full length?
Yeah, we did 3 EPs relatively quickly. Yeah, because initially Greybeard started out as just Casey and I as a project, and we just recorded these 4 songs, and then a few months later I had some more songs, so we recorded another 4, but then we got Guy to play guitar, do all the leads on those, and then a few months, well, maybe a bit further after that, we recorded another EP, the Serpent King EP, and yeah, that one we had Amanda helping out with some vocals, and yeah, Guy and Casey and I had kind of formed, and then yeah, we just kind of we decided we want to start playing shows and rehearsing, so we started putting our name out there, and yeah, we started working on this album. It's been a couple of years, just because Casey's like the busiest guy in Calgary. He's like in a few bands, and yeah, he works full time in his job, so yeah, so it was hard sometimes to find time, but we finally got it done, and yeah, it turned out great. I'm really, really excited and really proud of it. It's awesome.
Cheers to being prolific, man.
Yeah, well, it was funny because the first 3 EPs we cranked out in like, I think it was a year and a half, and it's, it's not that much music, but it was still, it was what, like 12 songs, so decent amount of music coming out. And then just kind of everything kind of, I was used to a pace, and we were cranking through it, and it kind of slowed down, which was an adjustment for sure, but it's all good.
So you just put together a lyric video for a tune here. You want to tell everybody what the tune's about, name of the tune and all that?
Yeah, sure. So this is the first song on the album. It's called Vision. So like I said a moment ago, like the whole album it's kind of like a D&D module, because I'm not so much the first EP. The second EP was really about sort of technology. That was kind of the root of the songs that I was writing about, like our relationship with technology kind of was what it was based on. Serpent King was more based on, it was actually inspired by Donald Trump's run up to his presidential bid, because I was watching what was happening and just being like, what the fuck is going on? So that was easy to write about. And then when it came to write songs for Oracle, I was kind of like, what am I going to write about now? Like, I'm not sure I have a whole album's worth of material. And then I was like, wow, I play D&D and there's lots of material there. So I just basically came up with this idea of like this story of like this Oracle who's made a deal with some sort of dark, nefarious power. And he's sort of given this gift of like vision, able to see the past and the future by this power. So, but he goes back on this deal, and the dark, nefarious power sends out the henchmen to take care of him in his village. So the story basically picks up when he's getting this sort of vision of like these guys coming to level his village, and he's like, I'm out of here. He bails. And so that's basically the start of the album, is him bailing and how he flees to the mountains. He knows where there's this like ancient cave where he's going to go hide, and this labyrinth. And there's actually a young girl in the village who has the gift as well of the vision, and she can actually see in her mind where he's going. So she survives, of course, because she's our heroine, and she chases him down. And anyways, I won't give the ending away, but yeah, it's pretty nerdy. But you know what? It was a lot of fun to write, and I found it actually easy because it was just a story, right? I could just be like, well, what's happening now? I just need to write that down as lyrics, right? It wasn't like I needed to go much deeper on anything. And I mean, it is what it is. Take it at face value.
Yeah, very cool. Just a story, a good old fiction story.
It's just a fictional story, but I mean, if you want to get thematic about it, like there's the whole idea of like, betrayal and resiliency, like the girl's resiliency and betrayal by the Oracle, and vengeance and revenge is a big part of this. And yeah, so there are some themes there. I'm trying to be deep and philosophical about it now. It's just like a D&D nerd fest album, but whatever.
Very cool. This is Vision by Greybeard. We'll be right back. Very nice work. Awesome, man. Can you tell me a little bit about the recording process? You did a bunch of this with Casey, right? Casey's the drummer and recording engineer extraordinaire as well, right?
Yeah. Casey's the man. Like he's an incredible drummer, and yeah, he's really, really, really good at recording stuff as well. Yeah, it was interesting because we kind of we went at it slowly, right? So we did some demo tracks where Casey had programmed drums and we'd play along to them, and yeah, we just kind of moved through it slowly. Casey ended up doing drums with Ian Dillon, I believe, Calgary Recording Company, I think.
Sure.
Does that sound? Yeah, I think that's who it was. Anyways, yeah, he ended up doing the drums live, but all the other instruments were done via software. So all the guitar tones and the bass are all software, which was new for me. I'd always used like my Mesa Boogie or my Orange amplifier to do guitar tones. So it was cool to do it with software. We used like Fortin Nameless Suite for the tones, which has pretty incredible sounds coming out of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So I can't recall what Casey used for Amanda's bass, but yeah, it also sounded incredible. But yeah, it was cool because we actually finished when we were in full COVID lockdown. Yeah, so we were still kind of funneling bits and pieces in. Guy recorded a bunch of tweaks to guitar solos, and would just funnel stuff in via like Dropbox, and yeah, he would just put it together. And actually, one of the songs, because before we had gotten most of my vocals done before COVID hit, so my vocals were in pretty good shape. But there was one of the songs Amanda does the chorus for. It's called Heiress of the Night. It's a really fucking cool song. But yeah, the chorus on it is great because she did like 3-part harmonies on it. And Amanda's got a beautiful voice. So, I mean, yeah, she's wicked lead singer. But yeah, it was, she did it. It was cool because she did it in Casey's sort of little room where he does his recording. And I was streaming in. I think we were using WhatsApp. But anyways, I was watching and just kind of like being like there as well, kind of. So it was cool that we were able to finish it that way. And like at least we got it done. I was stoked that we were able to get it finished.
Yeah, that is producing over out of AI.
Yeah, producing with the internet. It wasn't ideal, but I mean, it was just it was just like, okay, let's just try and get this done. But yeah, it worked out well. Turned out well.
Very cool. Yeah, I think a lot of bands don't realize the value of pre-production. I mean, that just doing stuff like that to be able to hear the tunes before they're written in stone is like such a big deal. To go through all the motions of doing it, like because live is live, but I always equate it. I say, live is like baseball. And recording is like cricket. Like you're still hitting a ball with a bat. People run around in a circle, but one takes 3 days, one takes 3 hours. It's like
for
a lot
sure.
different approach. And you even dress different.
Yeah, you do. You dress a lot differently.
Yeah,
you tend to be a little bit more relaxed when you're recording. But yeah, it's you raise a good point, right? Because as I said off the top, like, we had done 3 EPs like in a year and a half, and then it took us a couple years, almost 2 years to get this album done. So the change of pace was definitely different for me because I was used to just kind of, I'm like, okay, we just bang out songs. But to your point, I think it really was cool for us to rehearse the songs and play them live and get a really good feel for what we were doing. Because I know with doing like the first 3 EPs, some of the vocals, I would walk in and be like, I think I know what I'm doing here. I think I have an idea what I'm going to yell about, but maybe not.
Sure.
And there'd be way more adjustments where I noticed with this one anyways, with my vocals, there wasn't a lot of adjusting. We'd been playing the songs for like a year and a half. So I was like, yeah, I'm good. I should be able, I got all the vocals done in essentially two sessions, which was pretty sweet.
Nice.
So I can't yell for hours on end.
Yeah.
good for about an hour to hour and a half, and then I'm usually done.
All right, very cool, man. Well, thanks for taking the time out to come on the show, and
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
congratulations on the new record, Oracle.
Yeah. Can I just give a drop as where they can find it?
Please do.
Yeah. So you can download it for free at Bandcamp. So go enjoy that. It's also, we've got the entire album on YouTube with me doing commentary on the songs. So that's kind of cool if you want to listen to the whole thing there. And I think actually a bunch of people on YouTube have created videos for pretty much all our songs. So you can find any one of our songs on YouTube now. I didn't do that. Somebody else did it.
Wild. That's very cool.
Yeah. Somebody on some Facebook group decided he loved us. So whatever. It's
Oh
cool.
boy, if you get picked up by the prog people, man, you'll be employed forever.
Yeah, I don't know if we're proggy enough. I think there's a little bit too much.
Play the
anger in
cruise
there.
every year. It'd be great.
That would be cool, though. That would be cool. Yeah, so YouTube, Bandcamp, it's on Spotify, Apple Music, all the streaming services. You can find it there as well. So if you want to go have a listen, please do.
Awesome. Cheers. Have a good one, dude.
Thanks, Nate. Take it easy, brother.
All right. That was cool, eh? Cool tunes. Gotta love the heavy stuff. Go check out Greybeard on their Bandcamp. And yeah, so now it's time for...
Nate's Conspiracy Corner.
Love it every time. So to help me out this evening, because we're going to start kind of back at the beginning of the whole sordid Maxwell dynasty affair, I have my friend Ted Lee here to give me a hand. How you doing tonight, Ted? Hi. Oh, you're still muted. That's okay.
How about now?
Now we're good. Nice. Okay, cool. So how's it going this evening, Ted?
Not bad. Just surviving in the madness.
Fucking A. All right.
Yep.
So what I wanted to do, and we'll just stay unmuted, Ted, so that we can maybe stop this and comment on it. But
Sure, yeah.
There's I gotta do video guide too. Okay. There's this great YouTuber, his name's Jamie Deluxe, that I was turned on to. I've been watching all his videos, and he's kind of like us, let's say, in the sense that he plays in a metal band in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and he's just been into this.
Are they any good?
I don't know. I haven't listened to them. I actually tried to avoid it. Don't ever meet your heroes, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
But so I know this will get criticism because he's just basically going through a bunch of tabloids, but it's just interesting to see how he's put this together. He puts it together in a pretty funny way. And this...
Yeah, I've been meaning to check him out since you recommended him to me. His name didn't sound familiar in anything the fringe readings I subject myself to.
Sure, that's fair enough. So we're going to watch about... I just got to change one thing here. There we go. Okay, we're going to watch about 8 minutes of this video because what it does is it explains Ghislaine's father, Robert, and what happened. And that's...
Who's got a history, to say the least.
Oh, big time. So
her whole fucking family, too.
This can only be put together by somebody else. So let's check this out. I got that, and then
I can cuss, right?
Oh yeah, these videos are not for kids. Okay, here we go.
The New York Post: How Ghislaine Rose from the Ashes. Maxwell's heirs building a new business empire. March 23rd, 2000. For Ghislaine Maxwell, daughter of disgraced media tycoon Robert Maxwell, it was an exquisite moment of triumph and redemption. As she sat in the front row of Fashion Week's Ralph Lauren show, all eyes were on her and the man at her side, Britain's Prince Andrew. As the next crane to see, as cameras flashed in Motor Drive's world, the favorite child of the former New York Daily News owner smiled regally and quietly savored the attention. Just a short time ago, people spat at the name Maxwell, if they spoke it at all. Now, the public gesture of friendship by Britain's most eligible royal was a signal to the world that the once reviled Maxwells were back. And beautiful. I don't know about that. And 39-year-old Ghislaine is their public face. Ew. Ghislaine couldn't have done in Britain what she has achieved here. Every step would have been scrutinized and criticized, said a family friend. She has kept just the right profile. Being out with Prince Andrew was a startling social coup. It made everyone stand up and take notice. It is 9 years since Robert Maxwell disappeared from the deck of his yacht, the Lady Ghislaine, into the inhospitable waters of the Atlantic.
Sorry, the Lady Ghislaine. Anyways.
I wish this guy had a different voice. It's a little dry.
He left behind a media empire in ruins, crushed by debt and pillaged by his own avarice. He had looted $600 million from the pension funds of his employees in a vain attempt to keep the empire afloat, and thousands of families would suffer as a result. It is widely assumed that Maxwell committed suicide rather than face the inevitable
Oh,
consequences.
did he kill himself with 2 gunshot wounds to the back of the head too?
That's called it an accident.
No, it's a really common method of suicide, you know.
Way, he left his 7 children to shoulder a heavy burden of ignominy and shame. Incredibly, they have rebuilt another fortune on the smoking ruins of the first. Robert Maxwell saw himself as Britain's Joseph P. Kennedy, the patriarch of the dynasty that would wield financial and political power on a global scale. Like Kennedy, he expended much of his children and pushed them hard. Quote, he would interrogate them at the dinner table about history or geopolitics, said a once regular guest in the sprawling Maxwell estate in southern England.
He was strong. He had a strong stance on education, you know? He wanted the betterment for his family, right?
Yeah, geopolitics, yeah.
Yeah, and big tech, right?
He could reduce them to tears if they didn't know an answer. He could be a cold man, and the temperature in the house dropped noticeably when he was there. The colder he was, the more his youngest daughter
just get to the part where they say he's a Freemason already.
Dreamed that he might one day forge an alliance with the Kennedys.
Oh, no, wait, he's Mossad, right?
He's a few things.
Ghislaine to JFK Jr. The two became close friends and remained so until Kennedy's tragic death last year, which would be 1999. Ghislaine has also been a guest at a number of Kennedy weddings and family events. Ghislaine was sent to Marlborough, one of England's top private schools, and to Oxford. Maxwell made her director of a British soccer club and set her up with her own fiefdom, a company that supplies corporate gifts. When in January 91, he bought the tottering Daily News and rescued it from oblivion, she was sent to Manhattan to be the advance guard for his foray into New York society. A few months later, he was dead. Of all his children, she took his death the hardest.
2 gunshot
she was unable
wounds
to
to the
accept
back
her
of the
father's
head.
guilt and likely suicide, and insists to this day
Everything
dark
I'm stating
conspiracy-
is 100% verifiable fact, by the way. Like, I only speak truth.
Come on, Ted.
of
I saw it
Mossad
on the internet,
renegades
all right?
and Sicilian contract killers took his life. Interesting, huh? Ghislaine was already suffering emotionally. A long, passionate affair with Count Saconia, the dashing
poor woman.
scion of...
Yeah, I thought that was really weird. Apparently, but right when her dad died and right when she came to New York, she had just gotten out of this terrible relationship with this count, and she wanted to be his Contessa and all this.
Well,
terrible.
The last thing I was seeing, I watched a report. It was something out of Australia, I think. I think it was like Australian 60 Minutes, I think. And they kind of rattled off her dating history, and she don't want no scrubs. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's all tycoons and counts and
Yeah.
you know, like elites. Like that's it. That's all she's fucking with.
Yeah, it was implied too that bad breakup mixed with the death of her father made it easy for Epstein. You know, he's such a big.
Sorry, I risk jumping all over the place here. Have you read anything about? Now, I heard this with the last Whitney Webb Tim Dillon podcast where they talked about she was at an event, like a charity event for children, and then like the host's kid was fucking hung with like a bed sheet like that day.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did see something about that. Was in England, wasn't it? Ah, fuck.
We gotta write stuff down. I don't want to overstate a bunch of bullshit, but like, yeah, I definitely heard that in the last Tim Dillon with Whitney Webb. I know I heard that.
All right, there's like 3-4 minutes in the rest of this video. This is
right.
We all need to be on the same page, right?
Okay.
The aristocratic clan that owns the Siga Hotels chain ended painfully. She had hoped to one day be his Contessa. I don't even know what the fuck a count is. I thought it was like a vampire, like Dracula. In a short space of time, she had lost her lover, her prospects, her share of the family fortunes, and her beloved father. There's a story that the Maxwell name was so detested in London that she had to walk around in a blonde wig so people wouldn't recognize her. She's being treated like Marie Antoinette there. She wisely realized she had to make her life in New York, where her father was less well known, and people care more about what you can do than who you used to be. She was like one of those European princes who had been deposed. You mean like this guy? But she had no title and no money. The most obvious way out of a jam like that is find a rich husband, darling and quick. Ghislaine wasn't entirely penniless. She lived off an inviolable trust immune from the family's financial difficulties and yielded an income of about $100,000 a year, enough to ensure that she would never starve. Do you know what I could do with $100,000 a year? A lot fucking more than I can do now. That's a lot of money. Not enough for her, though. Within a year of her father's death, she was dating immensely wealthy financier
walking around town money
Jeffrey Epstein. He provided a platform for her return to public prominence. It filled the emotional vacuum in her life by the death of her father. Epstein is an enigmatic figure. Rumors abound, including wild ones about a career in the Mossad and, contrarily, the CIA. Ghislaine's siblings have also been busy rebuilding the family's financial fortunes. The source of much of their new wealth is McKinley Group, a California company founded by Maxwell's twin daughters, Isabel and Christine. Named after North America's highest mountain, the company developed a high-tech internet search engine called Magellan. It was profitable, but inevitably, after a while, started to lose customers to Yahoo. The Maxwell sisters sold out to another internet search engine company, Excite, for about $18 million. When Excite was sold last year, the value of those shares had risen 1,000%. An Israeli email company, ComTouch, hired Isabel as president, while Christine launched another web business, an internet publisher named Chiliad. Meanwhile, Maxwell's sons, Kevin and Ian, rounded up private investors in the U.S. to create Telemonde, a company involved in the complex business of buying and leasing telecommunications bandwidth. The company went public last year, but has suffered setbacks in its efforts to make an impression on the NASDAQ stock market. Robert Maxwell was fond of warning his children, quote, "Confidence is like virginity. You can only lose it once." His children, however, appear to have recovered theirs. That's some weird shit, huh? And I found an earlier link to Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein because you have the picture at the palace in 2006 where
all right. Isn't that some shit? Right.
It's a lot to take in, man.
Fucking there. 2006. And this fucking asshole is dressed like a Navy SEAL on top of it. So it's false valor too. Like, what a fucking piece of shit. Anyways.
Epstein's in the, quote, Navy SEALs uniform. There's rumors that this could be a fake picture, but I threw it in Photoshop. I inverted it. I saw an outline kind of around Epstein's head, but then when I go back, he's got these highlights right here, so it could be real. And the reason I think it may be is the party was a Victorian-themed coming-of-age party. And it was already known that he went to the party because his house had already been raided when he was there. and Beatrice wore a 10,000-pound blue taffeta gown designed by Georgina Chapman, who later married Hollywood producer Weinstein, so he had a reason to be there.
You got a kid too that you protect and shit. But in 10 years you will fuck up all her friends and shit. We don't fuck with niggas like you. I hope this make you wanna fight too. R. Kelly for a long while was a pedophile and you that type too.
Back on the radar. From February 6, 2004. Heavily hyped Radar magazine put out 2 issues of pop politics scandal style last year and then faded away. Forever? Maybe not. A group of high-profile New Yorkers that failed in its recent attempt to buy New York Magazine is said to be pursuing other projects, including a possible bankrolling of editor and publisher Mayor Roshan's Radar. The group includes Daily News chairman and co-publisher Mortimer B. Zuckerman, Miramax Films co-chairman Harvey Weinstein, Triarch Cause CEO Nelson Peltz, advertising executive Donnie Douche, and financier Jeffrey Epstein. Weinstein, whose partnership is now defunct, Talk, put him in contract with editorial director Roshan, later invested in Radar. Zuckerman spokesman Ken Friedman declined comment. Another source denied Radar was on the radar, but confirmed the group was exploring other opportunities. Thank you to whoever made that dancing Epstein. I'll leave a link where I got it.
Yeah, I agree. What he just said. Okay. In trying to prove who Robert Maxwell is,
Holy shit.
that's where why I brought that up. So, also just in some other research, like Robert Maxwell predates Israel. Like he was dealing with OSS, which is pre-CIA intelligence,
Right.
and the prime minister of Israel at the time gave his eulogy saying he did more for the state of Israel than anybody else and all this stuff, which is, anyways, it's nothing to do. The point is to try to connect to the government. So, and then I thought it was wacky that the twin sisters there, he briefly went over that Chiliad software, but that Chiliad software is some weird counterterrorism software that, who is it? Where's the, I'm like that guy that's got the lines going everywhere. I think it was
I
Isabel.
thought about having a notepad myself, but whatever.
It was Isabel who invented Chiliad, and it's the only software that the 9/11 Commission considered was valid in the whole investigation of the 9/11 thing. Was that Chiliad software, and it's
what was their final statement?
Oh, Chiliad? Fucking nothing.
Yeah, what did they say?
They're integrated into, like, this software is just integrated into a bunch of things, like Google, Windows, and Dell computers. They all come with it, like, installed, right? Which I thought is super weird. So Robert Maxwell is this alleged Mossad agent and, alleged Russian agent and alleged British agent, and then he went missing off his boat. All this money goes missing from the trust fund of the empire.
Yeah, then he defrauded a bunch of employees. Fuck them all.
Yeah, and on that, the implication is that he was using it as a bankroll for Mossad operations, and they would borrow hundreds of millions of dollars all the time and then put it back. But then he started getting into it for his personal, and that's when it really hit the shit. This is just through my research.
Heard he had a healthy appetite for hookers too.
Yeah, and it's been alleged that he would sit with girls after lunch. He would have a girl come in and sit in his locked room on his lap after lunch.
were like, were these
locked
underage
door.
girls? Is it reports of like, does it tie into that kind of stuff, or is just
Kinda like
it does? I mean,
because
I mean,
Ghislaine,
why wouldn't it, right?
Ghislaine, and again, like my boy Jamie Deluxe says here, I know it's Ghislaine, but I'm not going to say Ghislaine. Her name's Ghislaine. Because
Fucking
mockery is the
cumberer.
only thing that really gets to these people. So Ghislaine was the youngest of 7. 2 died. 1 died really young. 1 died at 23. And then there's the 2 older brothers, like they were talking about. And they took the hit when he stole all that money from the fucking media thing. And then, then there's the twins, the 2 twins that are all involved with the software companies. And then Ghislaine is the youngest one, and his favorite, apparently. That's why he named his yacht Lady Ghislaine. That he got executed on. Or, I don't know. He disappeared on.
Right.
So then, that led me to a bunch of other weird stuff. I mean, I can't see the chat right now. I should check it and see if people are hating this or loving it or...
Everybody just wants you to wear the hat, man.
Wear the hat?
Yeah, that's all the chat is just saying to wear the hat.
Oh, yeah. No, that's right. Can you bring my hat, babe, please?
I'll get high to that, I guess.
Okay. Oh, now we're getting serious. Thank you. Fuck. You guys are
Here
right.
we go.
I fucked up the protocol.
That's a gooder.
It's my tinfoil rice hat.
If I become a repeat guest, I'll whip something up too.
Okay.
I'll get a nice tinfoil flat brim, and I'll tuck my ears in.
Okay, you got your hat involved, so no, I'd take this more seriously if you had this hat on.
This is the special Kangol RFID blocker limited edition.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I started researching all this stuff, and it was really weird because Bill Barr starts to come up. Bill Barr is the Attorney General of the United States of America right now, and he's quite a piece of shit. So
yeah, and he has a brother who's like in the DEA or something too. Like they're just like it's just all this stuff runs deep in the families. It always seems, right?
And allegedly Bill Barr started at the CIA as well.
Like none of these guys have a brother who run a food truck or something, you know?
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're definitely not orange farmers. I guess.
Are they adrenochrome farmers?
There's like all these family. I mean, Washington D.C. I mean, who else like that?
Well, I always thought like that an interesting point was like, you know, like every American president was either like in the KKK or like the son or grandson of a KKK member, and like, you know, the Democrat Party was all KKK members. Like just like the KKK runs deep in American government.
Well, that's
and
why
like,
they can't make it a
like,
terrorist
you know what I mean?
organization.
They're portrayed as these cousin fucking hicks, but like these guys go deep, man. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I could say I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it was Albert Pike who even invented created the KKK. And if you know anything about Freemasonry, Albert Pike's the OG. Wrote Morals and Dogma, you know.
Yeah, I wonder if they've torn his statue down, because there is a statue of him somewhere.
Is there an Albert Pike statue somewhere?
Oh, yeah, in the South somewhere. Fuck yeah, dude. He was a pirate, too. Anyways, I don't want to get into Freemasonry.
He also said the Freemasons worship Lucifer, too.
Oh, the light. Yeah. But, okay, back to
he's
Bill
the light
Barr.
bearer. That guy gets a bad rap, you know.
Yeah, because you can really see well if there's this huge light in your face.
He's like a walking headlamp.
Okay, yeah, so Bill Barr started at the CIA. And then I have a note here that under Bush, he got all the Iran-Contra criminals fucking pardoned.
Sorry, yes, they are cousin fucking dicks. I just want to be clear. I just meant, you know what I meant. They are cousin fucking dicks.
Pay no attention to gay username. It's not helping.
I just want to be clear. I'm not trying to like. That wasn't a statement to like stick up for them or anything.
Okay, so
got to be clear these days, man.
yeah. What was really interesting to me is that Donald Barr, who is ex-OSS and with precursor to CIA, he was the headmaster at Dalton University, which if you've seen the Jeffrey Epstein Filthy Rich documentary.
I applied there. I didn't get in.
And you got to watch all four of them if you want to be involved in this debate, because he bullshitted his way somehow. You know, and they make it out in the documentary like he was from Coney Island, you know, like eating hot dogs and poor and fucking. And then all of a sudden he is a professor at Dalton University and then uses those connections to get, because he wanted to get into the stock market, and he got on at fucking Bear Stearns in like 1978. And then, so he bullshits, he lies about all his credentials, gets into Bear Stearns. 3-4 months later, it comes back, they do the research at HR, and they're like, this guy is full of shit. So Buddy, who hired him, goes to his higher up, Ace Greenberg, who was the head of fucking Bear Stearns at the time. Turns out Epstein's banging his daughter by this point. Greenberg, the head.
How old was she?
Oh, I don't know. Though it was all fair ball at the time, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'd have to go back and look, but and Ace says to this, he goes, "Listen, treat him like it's anybody else. If he's full of shit, he's full of shit. Fucking can him if you want. It's your decision." And so he calls Epstein into his office, and Epstein bullshitted his way to not getting fired. And Buddy goes in the documentary, he's like, "It was the worst professional decision of my life." Yeah, no shit. No shit. So he then went on to become like a limited partner in Bear Stearns and fucking cash out for Chichinga. Like, it's fucking... So that's...
Yeah, and what's the other one too about, like, Les Wexner, like, fucking gave him the house? Like, just gave him his house?
He gave Jeffrey Epstein power of attorney. That is like saying, I'm an invalid and I need somebody to run my life for me. That's when you sign over power of attorney. Is when you got hit by a fucking truck and your girlfriend's there and you're like, yeah, make decisions for me. Yeah, I don't know, but no big deal, right? Okay, and so these are all just, I mean...
We aren't even getting into this is all real world stuff. We're not even talking woo woo. Like, you know.
Yeah, this is all verifiable shit. So there was the Promise software scandal.
Because you're holding a note, like you're holding a notepad in front of you, so that's like everything is true here.
Give me an honorary doctorate, somebody. I've got a fucking notepad. I got a pen.
Give me the prescription pad when you get it.
I should start crossing these off. Oh yeah, the search engine Magellan thing. Like, yeah, they sold that for $16 million. Not too bad in 2001. Yeah, Chiliad. Oh, okay, interesting. Yeah, in 2012, Epstein reinvented himself as a tech investor, and it's really fucking weird. Like, he uses university weirdness. He started getting in with Harvard right away and like investing in like AI and all this fucking insane cutting edge shit. Like,
well, didn't he like there was something about like he wanted to, I don't know if it was like immortality he was going after, but he wanted to create like a fucking like sub race of like just himself. Like, he was into some really fucking fringe shit, you know.
He was a transhumanist, apparently.
Is that what it is? Transhuman. So he's trying to he's trying to like become one with the AI kind of thing, and
they want the
I mean,
singularity.
I'll admit the AI stuff's like a little bit dumb. It gets a little dense when I start getting into that stuff, but you know.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I've been working on a deep fake all week, and it's like 92 hours to switch somebody's
We should do an episode about that stuff, about how we're
crazy,
not how
man.
picture proof is gone out the window because of that stuff, and they've been kind of just easing us into it.
Yeah, but
like,
transhumanists like want it to happen tomorrow. They really do. They're pushing for it. There's a bunch of fucking Jamie
is that like we're
Deluxe.
downloading our consciousness kind of thing and living like the elites can kind of live forever, just
No,
keep
like the
getting
Matrix,
getting
apparently.
vessels.
Just like the Matrix, apparently. You fucking
Right.
You're an information processing unit.
Right.
Okay, let's see here. I think I might have gotten. Oh, yeah, Ghislaine there. She bought that house. She bought that house 7 months ago.
Yeah.
With cash through a numbered company. And she had somebody. It's really weird, all that, how it worked out. And then I just wanted to, on the Ghislaine thing, to read what the actual indictment is and how
They're from like 1994, right?
Yeah, but this shit doesn't matter in New York anymore.
But I'm just saying, like the charges they supposedly the charges they're bringing her in for like are from like a 1994 case.
Well, I'll read it to you from the justice.gov fucking website right now. Okay, yeah, this is the first count. Between approximately in or about 94 and in or about 97, Ghislaine Maxwell, the defendant, facilitated Epstein's access to minor victims by, among other things, inducing and enticing and aiding and abetting the inducement and enticement of multiple minor victims. Victims were groomed and or abused at multiple locations, including the following. And they show all their fucking billion-dollar properties. So then it goes on about her efforts to conceal her conduct. Okay, so that is the first count of enticement of a minor to travel to engage in illegal sex acts. And this is how this shit is going to get thrown out. Epstein did this already.
Okay, so is there any weight to the reports I've seen of Epstein's original like sweetheart deal has her protected now? Like she doesn't have to say shit?
Well, see, he was able to get such a good sweetheart deal that he went down for soliciting prostitution instead of pretty much the exact thing I just said. Trying to move minors across state lines, which is a federal offense, but very hard to prove.
And it's fucking icky.
But it's not it says addendums in there where they're like, there's proof that she engaged in sexual act. Like she was fucking all these kids too, allegedly. From Virginia Gouffre, or Roberts was her name at the time. She claimed she was getting in there. So it's really odd that it's such lenient.
Is it odd?
No, that's not. We're charging you with fucking a kid. I
got to get this out too. Where are the fucking mugshots?
Well, they don't have to do. They made a law like last year that in federal cases they don't have to show mugshots anymore. And that one that they showed of Epstein.
Really? That's a thing? Are you sure?
I swear to God. And
okay.
That one of
Epstein. They were even Epstein had mugshots, right?
But those were older.
Are they the old ones? Okay.
Yeah. Even with that case, like when he.
Well, then, fuck my whole point then.
Yeah. I've been going down many rabbit holes, sir.
But like that's something I've been pretty curious about. Like, why you don't? Where's that? Where are those?
Same here.
I mean, wouldn't you think they'd be excited to plaster them all over the fucking place?
Okay, count 3, conspiracy to transport minors with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. Oh, okay. That's probably big. But it's transport that's the problem. They'll get off on that fucking word. Is that a
euphemism for human trafficking?
All they have to prove is that, no, she got on the plane by herself. Fuck. We asked her if she wanted to come. She came. Boom. Off that charge. Count 4, transportation of a minor with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. Oh, yeah, and then 5 and 6 are perjury, which is what I think they'll nail her on. But then, what's fucked about all this is all under a grand jury, and all that shit's sealed in the U.S. too. So they can do all the grand jury shit they want and not tell anybody, dude.
Yo, shout out Faceless Andy. He doesn't want to sign up, but he wanted to talk shit in the user chat.
Is that gay username?
Yeah, who the hell is gay username?
It's becoming a segment of the show, for fuck's sakes.
Yeah, you're on our list.
My goddamn show. All right. Well, I don't know. I think that's it. That pretty much goes over my fucking sheet of notes there. I don't know. I hope that was entertaining for everybody. No reaction in the chat.
We'll have some time here. Are we going to get into a few more things or what?
I don't know. Should we? What am I missing?
Well,
I mean, I just wanted to talk about, did I finish? Yeah, Donald Barr. Yeah, no, I went through that whole tirade. Oh,
I mean, we could do a whole other episode about all the occult stuff. I'd be into that. We don't have to get into it now.
There's another video I got here. It's a shorter one. It's just 4 minutes.
Well, I want to bring up some news of the day too. I'll wait till the video is done.
Okay, so this is important for the backstory as well. So this is Epstein's brother hired this guy, Dr. Bodden, who's done a bunch of famous shit. Anyways, you got to see this. It's 60 Minutes Australia or something again, or Overtime or something. It's 3 minutes long.
Multiple pathologists for this story, and they all pretty much agree on one thing, that without knowing the position of the body, the way that Jeffrey Epstein's body was found, it's almost impossible to determine the cause of death with any certainty. Knowing the position that a body was found in is a key piece of evidence in any death investigation. And in this case, we don't know how Jeffrey Epstein's body was found. The autopsy reveals that Jeffrey Epstein had petechiae, which is burst vessels. Dr. Bodden says that's a key indicator that somebody's neck was compressed and that you see it more in a compression than you do see it in a hanging. We know from the autopsy that Jeffrey Epstein had a number of other injuries. There was an injury to the back of his neck and had an injection mark very clearly in his arm. We don't know what that's from. We don't know if that happened at the hospital or if it's something else. We just don't know because we've not been able to get the medical records from inside the MCC.
In the pictures of the cell, there are multiple nooses. The fact that the medical examiner sketched one noose, this is the noose they think was responsible for killing Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes. Did you hear that? Sounds like he's starting a car or something.
Responsible for killing Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes, this would be the ligature, the noose that was involved in causing the death. Mm-hmm. That's why it was sketched.
Here it says on here, it appears to say folded. The edge is folded here.
One of the things we have heard is that the guard that found Jeffrey Epstein cut him down, which you'd seem to indicate somebody cutting down a noose or something. If you look at the noose that the medical examiner examined,
which one?
And you look very closely at the edges, it appears perfectly hemmed. It doesn't look like anybody ever took scissors to it.
That wasn't too hard to figure out. I knew who strangled him. It was a Ninja Turtle, Michelangelo. That's his mask.
The difficulties with this story is because they charged two guards. there is a firewall and you cannot get information because you go to the Department of Justice, you go to the FBI and say, hey, what's going on here? And they said, there's an ongoing criminal investigation. We can't tell you anything.
They were saying it was but there was the pictures of his body coming out on the stretcher, and everybody always goes to the ear, and then they'll do like they were saying the body was fake because the ear didn't match up.
Yeah, I have seen that shit. And apparently there's more like facial recognition shit that disproves that, or proves it that it wasn't him. Anyways, so fucked up. I hope
so.
If they can, look at that fucking picture of him. Oh, that's so fucked. Anyway, if they can bring this down, it's all going to change for the good, people. It'd be really good, I think, if it all came down. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the international child molestation ring of coming down. It's a good thing. It's going to be great for everybody.
I think the world will go fucking crazy for if it does happen. Crazier anyway.
We'll see, I guess.
I hate to be a doomsayer, but
all right, Ted. I don't think we should get into anything else tonight.
Well, then I just want to throw it out there if people are watching just to look it up. Look up Wayfair. Apparently, there's reports of a company selling children disguised as cabinets, overpriced cabinets.
What?
And there's some really fucked up shit about it. I won't get into it. Just if you're listening and you're into this, just
spell it.
Look at
Wayfair.
Wayfair.
Oh, like I'm not going to sing the jingle, but the Wish type place, Wayfair.
Are
they dark web?
Yeah, it's like an online retailer.
Yeah.
But they're selling. They'll have a cabinet for $10,000 with the name of a missing girl.
Woof.
Yeah.
Weird.
It was. It's been blowing up my news feeds and all that.
What news feeds? What are you on? Where do you get information from, Ted?
Twitter, Facebook.
Oh, Twitter.
Not as much on Instagram. I mostly look at butts on Instagram, but
right. I'll be interested to see how old.
And I mean, I have real world contacts. I try to, I'm not going to divulge all my sources, but
fair enough. All right, Ted. Well,
I have a few people smarter than myself that I try to keep in regular contact with to help me kind of make sense of what's going on, right?
Fair enough. See, it has tinfoil in it. Dick.
I can hear it. Sounds lovely.
I'm talking to Gabe.
Makes the hairs on my arms stand up.
I think there's really tinfoil in there. It's aluminum foil, but whatever. All right. Thanks, Ted. We'll do this again sometime.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having me. I'm glad we got to finally do this. Always a pleasure. I love what you're doing. Keep at it.
Thanks, homie. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. Peace.
Bye-bye.
you